Imagine a massive, high-stakes competition where cities across North America go head-to-head, vying for one golden prize, a multi-billion-dollar investment from one of the world's biggest tech giants, Amazon. This was no ordinary contest. It was a bidding war for the Amazon's HQ2, a project that promised to transform any city that won. Amazon, in all its tech glory, announced that it was planning to build a second headquarters, HQ2. The promise? A $2.5 billion investment and 25,000 high-paying jobs. But while everyone was caught up in the excitement, a few voices in the crowd started to ask some tough questions. Why does Amazon's HQ2 remain unfinished? Or is Amazon taking advantage of tax incentives while failing to deliver on its promises? Fast forward, and Amazon finally chose two cities, New York City and Arlington, Virginia. But almost immediately, things started to unravel. Protests erupted in New York. People were worried about rising rents, overcrowding, and whether this deal would really benefit the community or just line the project of a few. In today's video, we're about to break it all down. The twists and turns of this story have big implications, not just for Arlington, but for any city thinking about getting into bed with big tech. While hiring 8,000 employees after the competition of the first building of Amazon's HQ2, 17,000 people are still waiting to become part of this gigantic multinational tech company in Arlington, Virginia. However, it seems like their wait has become eternal. Interestingly, the update of stopping the construction of the second phase of Amazon's HQ2 circulated amid Amazon's recent hiring freeze and layoffs, with the company saying in January 2023 that it will slash a little over 18,000 jobs. Amazon's story started in 1994, when the headquarters was established in Seattle, citing the region's strong tech expertise and Microsoft's presence in adjacent Redmond, Washington. Amazon's Seattle campus currently covers tens of millions of square feet over more than 40 office buildings, and the surrounding Puget Sound area employs 65,000 corporate and technical Amazon workers. It prompts the question of why Amazon, with its vast campus in Seattle and a rising real estate presence worldwide, wanted to create a second headquarters. Well, exactly 6 years back, on November 13th, 2018, Amazon stated that its second headquarters, called HQ2, would be home to both Long Island City, New York, and National Landing, Virginia. The confirmation occurred after a 14-month bidding process that generated proposals from towns and states around the country and garnered national media attention. Well, the focus was justified because the country's largest online store and second largest private employment guaranteed 25,000 jobs to whoever hosts the new headquarters. The story does not end here. Here's the twist. Polls revealed that about 60% of New Yorkers supported the initiative, even though a lot of the work had gone into winning the bid and many city residents welcomed Amazon's coming. The project was met with severe criticism as soon as it was announced. Tax credits promised to Amazon and questions about transparency during the auction procedure sparked reasonable outrage among neighborhood activists who had been excluded from the concealed process. Following that, in February, after months of criticism, Amazon had a change of heart and announced that Long Island City, New York, would no longer host HQ2 and would be out of this league. While critics of the transaction celebrated its collapse, a closer look reveals that it left many local stakeholders upset. Long Island City missed out on 25,000 rather high-skilled, well-paying jobs. Local stores, bars, restaurants, and bodegas lost 25,000 prospective customers whose need for products and services would have increased demand for labor across numerous industries and skill levels in Long Island City. Certainly, Amazon declined the opportunity to create a headquarters in New York, home to one of the world's most diverse and lively workforces, as well as to develop a strong East Coast presence in the metropolitan area with the country's highest GDP. When Amazon marked Arlington, Virginia as the location for its second headquarters, the firm was keen to build an organization that would draw the top talent in the region to help make Northern Virginia a corporate destination and benefit the local community. To bring this notion to life, Amazon worked with Clark, JBG Smith, ZGF Architects and hundreds of other architects and builders to create the first phase of Metropolitan Park, the company's new headquarters. For years, I encouraged Amazon to come to Virginia because I knew it would create jobs and opportunities for the whole Commonwealth, not just Northern Virginia, said US Senator Mark Warner. This is a great moment. I look forward to continuing to work with Amazon's leadership to realize HQ2's full potential. The exciting part is that Amazon successfully welcomed Metropolitan Park in June 2023, the first phase of its second headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. The project, which has already begun to welcome thousands of employees, has two 22-story towers, sustainable green spaces, and local merchants for our Arlington neighbors to enjoy. Let us take you through the massive and intriguing $2.5 billion futuristic nature-inspired helix-like structure, which has an uncanny resemblance with the promising swirls of an ice cream cone. The two 22-story buildings, designed by ZGF Architects and containing 2.1 million square feet of space and 50,000 square feet of retail space, are on target to become the largest LEED V4 Platinum buildings in the United States, according to ZGF. The project reduced the carbon footprint of the concrete structures by 20% over the industry baseline by utilizing carbon cure technology and low-carbon concrete mixes. And yes, a big thanks to the artistic mastermind. Not just that, the structures recycle 7.5 million gallons annually and help to achieve 50% water savings below the building code by collecting and reusing HVAC condensation, rainwater, and shower water. Sounds amazing, right? You will have access to a range of enticing open spaces spanning more than 2.5 acres, which will also be open to the public. An amphitheater facing a wide central green can accommodate outdoor concerts, farmers markets, and park movies. A forest grove can give you additional shaded areas to relax on hot days, a quiet place to talk with a buddy, or simply to enjoy the natural landscape. Amazon has been challenging us to think about how people can connect to nature, not just outside when the weather is good, but inside as well, so that it's available all day, all the time, according to the lead architect, Dale Alberta. However, the chaos emerged when, out of nowhere, this statement made its way into the articles and headlines. Amazon will halt construction on certain buildings at its second headquarters in Arlington, the company announced, a blow for the online retail giant that only a few years ago envisioned Northern Virginia with a booming economy and multiple office towers loaded with people. But why? Is it a pause and not a cancellation? Or is Amazon taking advantage of tax incentives while failing to deliver on its promises? In total, 20 towns in the United States and Canada took part in hosting Amazon.com's second headquarters, providing generous tax breaks and incentives. However, a new study examined whether such tax breaks genuinely pay off for the communities and governments that provide them. According to new research by the politically progressive Economic Policy Institute, Amazon.com is believed to have earned $1 billion in state and municipal government subsidies in 25 states, where the online retailing giant operates 95 fulfillment centers. However, the analysis implies that these incentives may not have been effective. These enormous Amazon distribution centers failed to enhance general employment in their markets within 2 years of launching, while increasing distribution employment by 30%, according to the report. The authors Ben Zipperer and Janelle Jones believe that this is because workers are either changing industries or Amazon's facilities are creating too few new jobs to make a powerful impact on overall employment. Furthermore, the report gained momentum as Amazon pursued a similar strategy, although on a much larger scale, of pursuing government incentives for a second headquarters beyond Seattle. Also, the corporation announced 20 candidate locations, sparking a discussion about the use of economic incentives to attract enterprises. Some policy experts and economists argue that such incentives benefit local municipalities only by costing them money. There is no debate that Amazon's proposed second headquarters, which promises 50,000 employees with a variety of skills and salary levels, is considerably different from a distribution center with largely low-wage labor. Nonetheless, the author expressed optimism that her report may give local government officials pause as they develop plans for Amazon. Ironically, the author of the report also observed that towns would have been better prepared to meet Amazon's needs for local education services and transportation infrastructure if they had spent less on tax breaks for previous deals and more on building local infrastructure. Another viewpoint emerged when Senator Warren questioned why Amazon did not pay taxes despite its large revenues. There are various viewpoints on this problem. First and foremost, disclosing Amazon's federal income tax payments without proper authority is prohibited. It's probably just an estimate based on financial statements. Second, Amazon paid minimal taxes since taxation is based on taxable income, not book profits. It seems like the corporation is merely following the law. Amazon's low tax payments are owing to several variables, including deductions for restricted stock compensation. Financial accounting for restricted stock is problematic since it does not accurately reflect economic realities. This leads to lesser taxes paid compared to financial accounting gains, making corporations appear more prosperous than they are in accounting terms. The difference between book income and taxable revenue is attributable to political pressures that prohibit appropriate financial reporting of equity-based compensation expenses. If a tax on book income were imposed, businesses would face more scrutiny and pressure. The conclusion made it clear that Amazon is a perfect illustration of how politics influences financial accounting rules. We have to assume that much of the resistance to Amazon has shifted appropriately on the firm itself, market concentration, political power, and uneven work practices. Whether it's the HQ2 sweepstakes that coerce localities to reveal confidential information, or Amazon pursuing billions in tax incentives while paying no corporate taxes, many of Amazon's business methods are worrisome. If we take a look at the stats, Amazon spent an estimated $1.8 billion in assets on the HQ2 project between 2019 and 2030, which equaled $1.1 billion in expenditures made directly. Capital spending represents a significant economic contribution, but it is significant in contrast to the ongoing impact of the company's operations. In its analysis, the Virginia Chamber Foundation assessed the impact of operations at several points in time due to the scaling up of activities to a full capacity of 25,000 people by 2030. On a lighter note, an Amazon spokesperson stated that the construction pause was unrelated to employment losses. The corporation expected to fill approximately 7,650 jobs in Arlington by the end of 2023, indicating that present hiring is ahead of pace. However, the revelation is a blow to Arlington's office market, which has been dealing with record-high vacancy rates, as well as a significant setback for Amazon's once aggressive commercial real estate aspirations in the country. Now, we have to wait and see whether Amazon will be capable of completing its promise and creating ways for people and the economy to bloom and flourish in North Virginia or not. But here's the issue at hand. Will this vast expansion return Amazon to its foregoing triumph, or will it continue to be stuck in tech traffic? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you thought this video was interesting, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell icon to ensure that you don't miss the next one. See you next time.